Right, welcome back to Spitting Your Dripper Reviews, and today we're doing a hardware review, and we're happy to say we're probably one of the first in the UK to do this, and this is the Aspire quad-flex survival kit. Now the Aspire quad-flex 4-in-1 is a game changer. It can rip up the vape rulebook, it graduates to different levels of vaping at your own pace. The quad-flex system provides the ultimate multi-device package, complete with 4 configurations of atomizer in one streamlined kit. From the refined flavour beast and those who enjoy traditional type pulls right through to the vaping cloud chasers, the quad-flex covers all bases. It's a 22mm atomizer and it's survived any situation with its following quick fit configurations. Now the quad-flex RDTA is a drop-wick tank with dual or single airflow. The quad-flex RDA with Turboline top airflow, and then you've got the quad-flex squonker with bottom feed. It's an RDA with Turboline again top airflow, and finally they've got the Nautilus X 2mm top airflow flavour tank. Right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to jump inside the box. I'm just going to open her up, show you what you get inside the box, and then we'll talk through the bits and pieces, and then we'll go through on the actual setups of the RDTA exploded view, the RDA exploded view, and the squonker RDA exploded view. But basically, obviously the Nautilus setup, there's no point us showing you that. We've already done the review on that before, so if you want to check that out, go and check out our previous review on that. So yeah, like I said to you before, I'm going to quickly open up the box now, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a little nice look inside. Let's do that all on cam for you. I'll take off all this nice packaging. Let's put that all to one side. And there's your box. Let me show you on the back there. There's your authenticity scratch card. Some information there, you might want to pause that and check. Right, let's open her up now. Let's see how this opens. Right. Aha, front flap. So we've got this nice magnetic front flap. I've just found that, as you can hear there. You front flap that, and then up she comes like that. As you can see, that lovely nice setup there. Look at that. Absolute lovely kit. I'm going to show you the actual kit first, and then we'll show you the right and above. And as you can know, each one's got little numbers and markings on each one, and that's because if you look at the actual top setup, it now tells you exactly how you set them up by following each individual marker per piece in the box, which I think is a good little idea.
It's a lovely way of showing how to do it.
I know, I think
you can't get confused.
Exactly, it's all there out in front of you. It's a good little idea. This also comes with extra bits and pieces in this little package here. I'm just going to take this top lining off, and if you look in here, this comes with all your extra baggie of cottons, O-rings, stuff like that, your extra screws, all stuff like that. I'm just going to show you just quickly. And there's a pre-built set of claptons in there for when you do your RDTA as well. Just going to show you that. You can just see the claptons sitting in there with your Allen wrenches. Everything you need is going to be in there, your little baggie of cotton to start you off. Literally a survival kit. It's got everything you need to just start straight off. What we do like about this, just before I go into showing you more in the box, is the fact that this little kit can go from different stages of vaping. So if you want to start out on vaping, then you can use the Nautilus setup, and then you can go through stages of like using your mouth to lung, using high nicotines, high PGs and stuff like that, and then bringing yourself down to when you go into the more advanced vaping, when you move over to stuff like this where you can do your RDAs, RDTAs and stuff like that. So I think this whole kit is good for the fact that you can start vaping from beginning to end and use the kit and continue to use it without, and I think that's a great thing. Excuse me. Now basically what I'm going to do is just quickly show you what's inside the box here. Now first of all, this setup here is the actual tank that's all set up as the RDTA, sorry, and this is using the lower airflow. Now I'm just going to take this off here and show you the actual build on the top. As you can see there, nice twin post design, nice big build space. That's the room for where you put your cottons through to come down into the nice tank underneath. As you can see, this is your extension chimney that's in the box that we were speaking about, and that's basically going to give you like the it's the RDTA tank adapter. So basically that's going to give you the actual adaptation so that this can fit onto here again and be the tank to store all your juice in for wetting your cottons to come up through onto your coils, which I think is a good thing. Exactly like a lot of them that are about at the moment, the Genesis style tanks, the Limitless, you know, there's a few of them doing it. So yeah, that's them two parts. And again, let's pull out some more bits and pieces so you can have a little look. Let me just put that there. Alright, this is your Nautilus hardware top hardware, with your little mouth to lung drip tip on there. And then in here we've got the 1.8 ohm coil for the Nautilus, the flavour chaser, as we all know and love. Nice little coils they are. Right, this little section here is your top hardware, and this is with top airflow. You know, we was talking to you before about this one. It's got the lower airflow, but this one's got the top airflow. That's a good little option as well. Same again as switching out these little Delrin things as well if you unscrew these. Oh. And then if I screw that into this one, you can do the same again and use that straight in there.
So versatile.
So versatile. So that, again, you can use that as your RDA top if you like the bottom, or if you just want to use it as an RDA, you can use the bottom or the top airflow on that one then. And then on this one here, this little ringlet here, as you can see, I'm going to show you nice up and close. This little ringlet here is your RDA base. So basically when you put it as your RDA, that's your base that's going to go on the base there. And that will convert that into an RDA when it screws on, basically onto there. So let's put that to one side. And then we've got this little bit here, which is your top hardware again, but this bit here, this bit turns and converts the actual Delrin drip tip, from wide bore into the thinner one, so that you can put a normal size Delrin in there rather than use the wide bore. So again, if you like mouth to lung in, or you've got the two options of the top caps there, which I think is good. Another great little option. In here you get 1x frosted glass as well. I'm about to show you. Little Aspire frosted glass. And then finally you've got this little beauty here, which I'm going to show you up close, which is the capillary screw. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it like that and show you one end first. That's the capillary screw. And then, as you can see, your air hole goes through there, and that's exactly where your juice is going to be getting pushed up through that pin from underneath if you're using a squonker, and that's going to be coming up into your section once you've built this up and obviously changed the pins over and used it for in the bottom, so that way it's actually turned it into a squonker. Obviously we're not going to do that today for you, because obviously that's quite time consuming. So what we are going to do is we're going to put a build inside this, and we're going to turn it into the full setup of the RDTA. We're going to put some juice in this, and we're going to come back with some nice pre-made Claptons that we told you about in the little baggie in here that we get. We're going to set them up in there. We're going to come back wick it. And then basically, I mean, I might even do a little bit of that on the cam just as we come in before we juice it up and stuff, just to show you how we're doing that. And basically we stick some builds in there, we'll come back, we'll wick it up, juice it up, and we'll show you how this little beauty works. But take it in mind, like I said to you, it is very time consuming to go for each individual one of these and set them up as a dripper, as a tank, so we are just going to do the RDTA today, but we will be talking a little bit more when we come back in the show more section about the other types of setups that you can do with this. But I do think it's such a great little universal kit. I do think that it's going to go very far, and I can't wait to have a test up on this RDTA section and have a real nice vape on it, and then let you guys know what we found about it as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to pause up right now, catch us back in a minute, and we're going to start getting all our stuff together, and we'll get in front of you in the camera, and we'll wick it up, juice it up, and we're good to go. Catch us back in a minute. Just quickly, before we actually juice this up and before we wick it up, I've just found out a little thing about this as well, on how to quickly change it out to turn this into from an RDTA straight into an RDA, so into a dripper. And we'll show you how simple that is. So basically from this little section, I'm just going to unscrew this half here, take this whole bottom section away, which is the extension, like I said to you, that brings you back up to the other where your tank stores, and we'll take that all away, and now you're going to look straight from there. And that's normally the deck. Look, I'm going to take that apart so you can see in there. This is normally the deck that we use for the RDTA, right, where you put your coils through the holes. So you're thinking, right, now if I want to use that at a dripper, that's surely going to leak out the bottom. Well, that's where this comes in with a little rubber seal. This just goes straight on there. There's even a rubber seal around the edge of this as well as this. So when the two meet and they literally screw on like this, let me just lean in, right, that's it. Oh, there we go. Once they screw on, I'm just going to show you this, it looks lovely as well. So now you've got a nice heat dissipator ring right in between these two, keeping the heat away, as well as you've now turned this into a complete dripper bottom. Now they're sealed, them holes completely, so now it's just a normal deck for putting a nice build in there, and your wick's right down into there as normal, like a normal dripper. And then you can either use the bottom airflow ones that we spoke to you about before, and that if you like to be below your coils and have that like that. Let me just show you what it looks like set up. It really does look nice. Right, so there you go. Let me get that all pushed on. Nice. And look at this. That's a lovely little dripper, is it not? Look at that. 2-post design. Lovely big airflow. Adjustable airflow as well. And again, like we said to you, if you take off this bottom piece, if I just pull this off and show you this piece here, and this one, what this does, this is, remember we was talking about before, the top airflow? Now if you want to be above your coils and go for that maximum outlet and that maximum airflow, some people like to be below and hunt for the flavour, and other people like to be above and have the maximum airflow. But again, look how nice, that's just turned it into a completely another different dripper. And again, you would just simply get this, screw this on here if you want to turn this into a mouth to lung styly and do it as like a 1-ohm coil. And then you could just get your Delrin drip tip. Right, so basically if you just get a normal 510, so it doesn't have to be wide bore, you can get a normal, as long as it can be even a thin one, like a little tiny one, and that will just literally click straight in there then. And you can have any size you want in there then, you can change it to whatever you like. So you don't have to just have this wide bore, you can have this little smaller version. I was hoping that that little one from the Nautilus was going to fit in there, but let me just have one more check, but I don't think it actually does. No, it doesn't. It's just slightly too big. It's a shame. I was hoping that little one would have gone in there. That would have been nice to have that set on the top. But still, you've only got to hunt round and find yourself something nice like your little, or use a little mouth to lung like we said to your drip tip that you've already used if you're a mouth to lunger. But I love that. I love that university, how we can switch this out so easily and so fast, straight into a, you know, from a dripper to a RDTA, or you can take the pin out again and turn it straight into a squonker, and I just think it's great. What a great option. So again, like I said to you, we are now going to put a build in this. We're going to come back, we're going to make sure that we like show you a little bit of the build as we're putting it together, and then the actual wicking and stuff. And we're going to come back and we're going to show you what it vapes like and stuff like that. So catch us back in a minute. Right, welcome back, and like we said, we've actually got this all stripped down now so you can see the build on there. We've stuck the 2 pre-built Claptons in there that come with it, space Claptons. Really like them, they look nice in the build, as you can see there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut some strips of wick. We're going to push them down through these holes, and we're going to make sure that on this plate here, I've took this glass off so we can get to this. On this plate here, we're going to make sure that we cut the wick dead on that plate, so that way that the wick touches the bottom, so that way if you run low on your juice, it's going to soak up the very last bit of your juice and not be sitting too high and leaving millage sitting in there not doing nothing. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sit our wick on there and we're going to run it through these holes. So let's get started. So we've got some nice wick here that you get in the actual box itself, so I'm going to just cut some strips. And take in mind, these are, if you look at the actual holes on these, I think these are roughly about a 2.5, maybe even a 2.6, 2.7, around that area. But you don't want to cut the actual wick too wide. Like if I start cutting it like sort of here, and that's going to be too much to try and squeeze through. Plus it's also going to block off these holes because they're not amazingly massive, these holes at the bottom. So you've got to remember that you've got to get it through there as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim up to an actual half decent size. So I would say roughly about sort of this size. Hang on, let me just cut one for you. Roughly about the size of a lolly stick, I would say, in width, an old-fashioned lolly stick. Roughly about that sort of size, yeah? And what we're going to do now is we're just going to twist off one end like this. So it's like a little dart, as you can see. And we're just going to feed this right through the coils. Let me just give it another twist. Right through the coils like this. All the way through. Pulling it through nice and gentle. Twisting it as we go. Protecting that coil. We don't over tension it until we've got enough wick through. Can you see that? So that it can both easily get past that section that I want to cut it at, which is down in here. As you can see, we've got plenty there now, so I can cut them off once I poke them through and they'll easily sit down to that well. So that's the first one in. As you can see, we're going to put one on the other side, so let's cut another one about a lolly stick in width again. There we go. So I'm just going to poke this end in. See if we can get that through first. It seems like a really tight one. There we go. Should start going down now. So I can get over it. It certainly ain't the easiest to pull down and through. There we go. Right, the first one's in and she's down. Right, next one. Let's go with the next one. In fact, I might even cut a little bit of this excess off. Not too much. I'm still going to go down past where I would need it. Down right near the bottom. Just so I've not got too much to poke through. Just come right down near the base. Cut these off. That's it. So I've still got plenty left. Right, let's get this next one through. In fact, do you want to have a pause up rather than me sit here doing this? We'll have a quick pause up, we'll come back and I'll have these all pushed down through the 4 holes for you. Let me just show you the first one. So that is actually down and through the hole now. This is when they're going to be hanging down into my little thing, and I'm going to be cutting that off in a minute. And that's my first little leg, as you can see there. So yeah, we're going to come back, we're going to have all 4 of them done for you, all hanging down, and then we'll get the glass on and get this filled up, but we'll talk just before once I get these all pushed through. So catch us back in a minute. Right, as we discussed, we've got the 4 pushed through now, as you can see there, look really nice. And they're just slightly too long, so like I discussed here, I want them actually sitting on this little silver bay that you can sit down here, just barely touching that. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm just going to quickly go around and trim them up. Now we've got a nice cotton hanging down, just barely touching them bottom wells like we wanted. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this off of here. I'm just going to unscrew this section first. As you can see there. I'm now going to get the glass, put the glass back on. See the glass back on. And now my wicks, just put them down the sides like so. Tuck them in. Right, so there we have it. We've got our wicks in. We've got a space to fill our tank. We've got our building. So basically now all we've got to do is fill it up. So that's what we're going to be doing now, is giving it a little fill up. Now most people fill it down through the sides of the wick on these, which is a bit of a weight, if you ask me, and quite a long time to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to rush that up, and I'm going to open this up a little bit, and I'm just going to slightly fill in from the side like this, just through a little hole here, and then we're going to shut it back up again and screw it back up, and we'll go juice these up and stuff like that. So we're just going to do that now. Let me put that on there for you so you can do that. Awesome. So yeah, either, doesn't matter. Right, let's get some of this in there. Right, like I said, just lifting it up and raising it. Just get that running in there.
I think that's the only thing you can see as being a bit of an
It is a
issue.
bit of a pain filling it. It would have been nice to have had like a side fill hole. That would have been a lot better, because I can see a lot of issues. You know, especially trying to get into your wicks and stuff. Just filling down the side of the wick, I don't know. Maybe on a single build, yeah, because if you did it as a single coil on this, then you'd have one side to still be able to, you know, use to put your juice in and stuff like that. So I'm just going to screw this down now, get them wicks in there, let them have a little soak for a minute. So as you can see, some of the juice is already in there. And now I'm just going to prime these up. So I'll do that for you now. Give them a little juice up. Nicely primed. So yeah, we won't go over the top and fill this tank too much. I'm just going to undo it and just put a tiny little bit more in just to bring the millage up, just while we have a little vape on it. Remember, this is just only on a single battery as well, so this is just firing it up, just getting it so we can prime the juice in a little bit more. So yeah, there she goes, she's starting to fire now. So basically what we're going to do is whack the top back on now. We'll go with this bottom airflow setup one this time. Line up the 2 arrows. Boom. There we go. And now she's back to looking amazing again. Just look at that. There's your RDTA section. And the same, like I said to you, you can switch it out, take the bottom out, turn it into an RDA. You can turn it into an RDA squonker, as well as the Nautilus the Nautilus X. I mean, the options 4-in-1. I mean, come on, it's a no-brainer. So yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to use this little Aspire box. We're going to stick this on top, and we're going to have a little vape up on her. I'll just show you what she looks like on this Aspire box. Right. Look at that. Lovely. Looks absolutely amazing. It's reading at 0.35. As you can see there. Got it on wattage mode. So obviously his Clapton's in there. This is at 50 watt. So yeah, that's hitting fine. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to pause up now. We're going to come over to, on the flip side, go on the upside, we're going to have a vape up on this. We're going to have a big talk about it. We'll go through some more about the kit. We'll talk about the good points that we've found, the bad points that we've found, and all sorts of stuff like that. So catch us back in a minute. Right, welcome back to Spitting and Dripper Reviews, and like we said to you before, we're doing this new 4-in-1 tank from Aspire. Absolutely gorgeous little looker there, as you can see, and this is called the quad-flexsurvivalkit. And as we showed you before, you can literally turn it into an RDTA, an RDA, an RDA squonker, as well as the Nautilus 2mm tank. And so 4-in-1. I mean, what a great little kit. And like we showed you in and around it before, it's a nice little setup. Love that little magnet front on it, you know, to keep it nice and safe. You literally have to pull that off, and then you've got that nice little, keeps everything safe like a little proper survival kit should be. Again, like, you know, that actually going through the parts and learning on it. I mean, we're learning. We've only just opened it right in front of you just now, and we're learning from it ourselves. But we're just going through some of the parts on it and putting them together. It's really clean. It's really smooth. Everything screws in nice. Everything moves and adjusts lovely. Even the airflows on this. I mean, like in the air hole there. If you twist this metal section up the top there, it does actually adjust the airflow and shuts it off. So if I shut that off now, you can actually see that's completely sealed. And if I open it up again, you'll see the actual coils. See the wires in there. So yeah, literally we've got this, like we said to you before, on 50 watt. It's coming in at 0.35 ohm, so lovely good flavour chaser. It's firing really well, so we're going to give it a little cloud up and see what she tastes like. We've got some pink lemonade that we made from our own company, and yeah, we're gonna have a look. We know what that tastes like, so we know what to expect, and we know whether it's getting pushed more or not. So let's have a taste.
Yeah, as we crack on, I'd like to big up Darren from Aspire for sending us this kit. Thanks, mate. You know, was looking forward to doing this. Wow.
No heat as well. 50 watt, no heat. I mean, the flavour's unreal. Look at them clouds. Basically, I mean, ever go on that? Look, just have one on that straight off and tell me what you think at 50 watt. It was so nice, clean, punchy, wholesome, thick, dense vape. It's a 70-30 the juice that we're using as well, so it ain't massively, like, ain't high VG. Well, it's high, but it's not massively high, VG.
The sugars are amazing.
It is really nice. And another thing that I like about it is the fact that, like, switching it out, what we've shown earlier, like literally just unscrewing that whole bottom section where the glass is and where that extender chimney is, and then literally you can just screw this new whole bottom thing straight on this bottom plate. And because of the rubber grommets on it, it just seals them bottom holes up. So where the actual wick normally goes through down into the tank, that will now be sealed by this little rubber sealant.
You get a spare seal in the box as well with all your O-rings for that. So just in case on wear and tear, you do
get
have
another
a spare seal as well.
So that's another good thing. But I mean, this whole kit is really nice. I mean, I'm going to show you the other actual top flow air. Well, you've got another vape on it, mate. Well, I'll show them sitting in and around this again.
I mean, it looks so nice as
this
well.
This is the top airflow one that we were talking to you about. And again, if you turn this little top section, you can start seeing the air holes opening up, closing off. There they go. It's literally like the same as the other one. Just you can shut it right down to pinhole size if you want a mouth to lung, or if you can open it right up. You know, literally, I think it's a great little option right around the outside there again.
It's just so universal.
It is. It's a great little.
So easy to use. I mean, when we opened the box, that's the first time we'd seen inside the box in the flesh.
Oh, I think it's great.
And it's so easy. I mean, I like the fact as well. I mean, you know, everything is numbered and lettered. All your diagrams are inside the box as well. I mean, so putting it all together is straightforward enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. But again, let me just show you this one. Now on here, this is the bottom airflow one. And like I said to you, these actually just push off out of the top here, and these are your airflow. So that's going to shut off your airflow to one-sided coil or a twin coil or whatever you want. You can choose your option there, shut off just to one side or a double side, even just to slightly turn it and shut down the hole and not just completely shut it off. That whole option's there, which I think is another good thing. I just think, you know, generally you can't go wrong. No. It's turning out to be, you know, apart from the fact that, like, the filling of the RDTA was a bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, come on, getting it down past them cottons is going to be a bit of a nightmare.
If you like using dual coils, then you are going to have a slight problem filling, I think.
You have to do what we done and just lift the tank up slightly by unscrewing it, raise it up just a little bit, pour it in until you get sort of, you know, a mil just before the top, and then screw it back down. Otherwise, if you fill it too much, don't forget when you push the cotton down, it's going to then push the juice up.
But I mean, yeah, if you're using single coil, then you're not going to have a problem. You've got two holes in the other side there to put it straight away. So
that's what I mean. And this one here, I mean, I don't know if it actually does, but I'm trying to push this one out, but it don't actually come out. But it has got the top airflow adjuster ring on it anyway, so you can fully adjust your airflow on that. But it does look like, again, like it can be pushed out, so I'm not going to force it just for the sake of the camera. I will check that out at a later date. And again, one more time, I'm going to show you the top of the, as you know, to turn this, if this goes on the top of there with your 1.8 on coil, you literally have just turned that back into the Nautilus. So we've gone through all the different settings that you can do that. You can do your RDTA, your dripper, and then, like, you obviously with your little, let me just get this screw for you. Remember I talked to you about this little screw? That's the most important thing if you want to do squonking as well. You've got your firing pin there that allows the squonk to come, like obviously the juice to come through, hence your squonking. And then your frosted glass. I mean, that's a nice little feature, nice bit of frosted. Well, I mean, there's not really many bad things I can say about it. I love the vape on it. I mean, that quality of vape that we're getting from it seems to be a real nice taste, a real nice flow. I've got the air holes fully open, and it literally isn't getting hot at all.
I mean, yeah, I think, as I say, there's only one issue that I could find with it, and that's filling the RDTA.
Yeah.
I think, other than that.
But this the juice. Let's have another go. See if I can get a little. See if I can do it quickly now, and just see if we can just fill it. Look, let's lift it up and do this. There we go. Look. Fill it up to just below the line. Push it down so it just comes in. Ain't that bad, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a pain, but it's not the end of the world, and already, I'm full up. I'm good to go.
Good to go.
So, you know, that's one little my advice way to do it. Don't be doing it while driving and stuff like that. Make sure you're still and you've got plenty of tissue around just in case you do it.
That issue wouldn't put me off.
Preferably don't do it on a mod as well. But it ain't going to put me off, because the same as Bigger Cop said, I love this kit. I think it's a great little setup.
I mean, also, I mean, if you want to go back and make it the Nautilus X, they come...
Turn it into mouth to lung, so this is so universal.
I mean, 1.8 coils, Lovely big holes there to fill up and that for the juice flow. I mean,
right, let's be cheeky and push this up to 60 watts. So we've gone from 50 up to 60 now on these Space Claptons. As you can see there. Let me just get that to zoom in right up. Yeah, so basically we're just going to hit a 60 now. Wow, the flavour's gone real, you know it does. I've pushed the sugars now, and now I'm getting that more sugar come through, the more of the sweeteners, the more of the zappiness, the citrals and stuff like that, where before, you know, you're going to get the more of the fruits but in a lower rating, you're going to get the cakes in a lower rating, it's not going to have so much of the sugars, and when you just push it that little bit more, don't go mad, but you just push it that little bit more, you can adjust. That's what it's the whole point of having these adjustments, so that you can find your bite and how you like it. If there's a juice that you think's not got quite enough sugar, just push it a little bit. Sometimes, you know, if it's not too much of a hot lug for you, then you might find that you know, it's pushed that sugar and you don't mind tasting it, but do stay in safe regulations. I mean, these boxes are safe anyway, but if you're using it on something unregulated, then
I mean, that's quite warm.
Know your Ohm's law.
The top's quite warm, but the lug wasn't.
No.
I mean, the lug was really cool. I mean, you know, you've got that. I mean,
and don't forget, you're sitting around. I mean, that's not too bad, but you're sitting around Claptons, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, but it's good that it's metal and not glass. So the glass is below the heat.
That's just warm.
Yeah.
And it's
bearable.
Easy bearable.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good little set. Should we try it with the air holes above and see what that vape's like, and see if we get a different type of taste?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we try that? Why not? Just pop straight off. Simple as that. As you can see, the coils are there.
And we unscrew the drip tip.
And you screw straight in
Screw
there.
it back on. And
it's as simple as
you
that.
can see,
and now we're top airflow.
They're adjustable top airflow as well. So
let's try this. See if this works. Line up my two triangle arrows. As you can see, you've got two little triangle arrows. One on there. See it just there. And one on the actual tank as well. So you line them up all the time and you can't go wrong. It absolutely lines you straight up with what everything's going on, your coils and everything like you set up.
I mean, how easy was that to swap it over? I mean,
Done.
It's so simple.
And now it just looks completely different again. Now we've got top airflow. Let's have a go at this one, see what this is like. Maybe this will keep the heat away from the... I don't know. You know, this was getting a little bit warm.
That was getting warm.
Yeah, but the tip wasn't. No,
the tip was fine.
It's not getting warm. I seem to be a bit more away from the coils now.
Yeah.
And the flavour, I would say more flavour. Just that little bit more on the sugars and the zappy.
Yeah, it's a bit more punchy.
A bit more. So again, if you're finding juices, this is another thing that you can do. Swap out below your coil or above your coil. So you can have that, like, think to yourself, well, I'm not really getting the taste down there. Let's try this, what the boys were saying on Spitting and Dripper, and let's try the coil, the setup where it's above. And again, you know, that is giving us a different type of taste. It's not getting as warm as well. I mean, that one was getting quite warm, being right down low and obviously sitting near the coils. But this one seems to be staying quite nice. And literally, I mean, the vapes on them, 60 watt. Look at them.
Lovely flavour, chucking nice clouds. Lovely looking tank as well.
It's lush.
Lovely,
I love it.
Setup.
Love the writing on there as well.
Yeah.
Quad flex. What a good looker. What a good setup. Like we said to you before, don't forget to subscribe to us. Don't forget to tell your friends about us as well. Add us up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Big respect goes out to Darren for sending this over to us, and like we said to you before, we're really grateful to be able to just take this out of the box and get this review up as fast as possible and be one of the first in the UK to do that. I know, like, a lot of it we've been pretty much like you guys. When if you're not, I mean, I know we're advanced vapors. We're meant to be a little bit more knowledge than you, but some of the stuff we're opening is new to us. So we are doing what you would do, and we're trying to open it fresh for you and see what it's like with you guys. And we're learning a little bit along with you guys, and really it was so easy to use, like Bigger Cop was saying. Anything you want to say about the actual bad side or the good side? So, like, anything else that you've found that, you know, so far? I mean, I know we haven't been through all the different setups too much. We've done the RDTA. I'd love to come back and perhaps we'll do a later like review on the actual when we've turned it into a dripper.
Yeah.
And use that same build that's in there, and we'll just wick it as a dripper.
And see
you
what
get
it's
what
like,
I mean?
yeah.
And see what them space claptons give us as a dripper, and see again if that starts to get hot. But I mean, I think it's a great little setup, like we keep talking about. Again, don't forget to add these guys up at www.officialaspire.co.uk. They're the main distributors for UK and North and Scotland. Again, big up to Darren. Love you guys to bits. Really have enjoyed doing this. Do go and get yourself one of these. I think they work out about $39.99 the whole setup over on the website. It's really worth it because look at what you're getting. You're getting a 4-in-1 universal kit, so you can start out on your mouth to lung that we spoke about, and you can go right through to your sub on.
Yeah, the official release date in UK, I think you'll find is mid-August as well. So do be patient. It's only a couple of weeks away, and you won't be disappointed with it.
And don't forget to check out our review on the NX box as well, the NX75, that's on there as well, the full kit. There's a nice little kit that goes with that we done a review on. And yeah, catch us back next time on Spitting and Dripper Reviews.